Good afternoon, beautiful beings of light. Welcome to the Crone Zone Conversations with the Ancients. My name's Priscilla, and today we're heatherless momentarily. But today we're excited because Kerri's here from Tarot Soul Riders. So I want to introduce Kerri because this is okay. You unmuted. Good.
No,
Anyway.
I did unmute because as you can hear, my clock is going off. And it's saying it's 3:00 and it's time to work. But yeah, and so people laugh about my chiming. So I just muted my chime so people can hear. But yes, thank you for having me here. I am so happy to be on your channel.
We're thrilled to have you here, even if Heather's missing in action at the moment. I just want to say hi to Linda and Viola. It's great to have you guys here. Heather will be joining us shortly. She had a meeting with her surgeon, and doctor's offices, you never know what's going to happen. But she said she's on her way. And like I told Kerri, nothing's more than 10 minutes away on this island. So
right,
she'll slide in shortly.
She's going to slide in. It'll be awesome.
Yeah. So that's good.
Yeah. So should I talk about who I am and why I'm here?
I was going to see if we got some more people in the chat room before we started, too much. But yeah, why not? You can talk to me about how in the world you got started.
Yeah, so here I am. I'm a tarot reader, but how I got started has really been a journey, as it is for all of us. I mean that's the truth. But I will say I was a teacher by trade. And so I was an English teacher and I was a teacher of teachers. And hi, Lisa.
Hi, Lisa.
And that was
Viola.
Oh, happy Friday.
Yes. Island. Key West.
Friday the 13th.
Yes. No wonder.
I know.
Chaos.
That's all right. Wait a minute. Before I introduce myself, we have to talk about that. So
yes.
Every time I go on a show or I have a guest on a show, I always pull one card that I'm drawn to, one deck, one card to kind of test the energy of what I'm going into. And sure enough, I use Andrea Lilac Lantern's cards. I pulled chaos, like literal chaos. And I was like, oh no. So, and then I didn't even think about it. Friday the 13th.
No, I didn't think about it either.
Person, but I think that's funny. Heather, she's delayed. So who knows what could happen. Anything
and her family were out on a boat. They had to come in because this little squall came through. So they missed part of their tour. Hopefully not too much of it, but they had a good time.
Right.
And so it's just been kind of chaotic around here today too. And Heather's here. Yay. Pit stop. Then she'll be here. Pit stop.
Yeah. I'm like so happy. Girl. And Warrior Girl, hey everyone.
Yeah, yes. Heather will join us shortly. Delayed due to a doctor's appointment, but all is good.
All is good. So I'm going to wait for Heather to come. This is my first time meeting Heather as well because I wasn't able to talk with her. So I'm kind of excited to meet her as well. So that's good. I'm so excited.
Yeah, it's all good. Chaos or not.
Chaos or not. I know.
And as I told you earlier, we completely redid this room yesterday afternoon to put our TV on a rolling stand so we could move it back and forth with the ring light and the camera. And so that I'm surprised everything works, to be honest with you.
Awesome.
Is Mercury still retrograde?
I have no idea. I am so not an astrologist. Maybe someone in the chat knows if
Mercury, I don't know. I just wondered if that was some of the craziness.
Yeah. I mean, we like to blame everything on retrograde, but who knows? Who knows? No, it's true. Everyone will say that. Must be Mercury retrograde. I have no idea.
And Mercury may not be retrograde at all. Here she comes.
Yay.
You're fine. We're just laughing about it. We're all good.
Hello.
Hi.
Can you get in?
Yeah. Not what I normally would wear for the show, but it's okay.
You look fine.
Okay.
You're looking gorgeous.
So here we are.
Thanks.
Yeah. Life is good. So I guess we can start. Kerri, this is Heather. Heather,
Hi,
this
Kerri.
is Kerri.
So
Kerri
nice
is
to meet
a
you.
teacher too.
And I am
what
a
kind of
teacher. I was
And
an
what age?
English teacher, 9th grade through seniors. I taught for 20 years. I was also a teacher of teachers in, I taught adjunct professor. So I would teach classes after regular work. So yeah, I had a lot of experience. I taught night school for years, working with kids who needed that second chance.
I did K through 12 as a special ed teacher for a while. And then when I moved to Texas, I did junior high. We did math, and then the content mastery room, which is where they all came for extra help and for the tests. And then I got my master's, and I was the educational diagnostician. Do you know what that is?
The educational I'm assuming you are diagnosing the kids for what,
whether they qualified for special ed
services.
Basically, my job was to tell the teachers how to teach the kid. If it happened to qualify for special ed, fine. If not, they went into usually, it's another program, something for, I'm trying to think of it. But anyway, it was like a lot of people used it as a perfunctionary. Let's see if we can make it that way. And if not, we'll put them in special ed. But that's not, it's still a government thing. And it follows you through college, where special ed quits at 12th grade.
Right.
So we try to get them back into that.
Because we would work with you on staff meetings. And we had the meetings with the children about their IEPs, their 504s.
Right. But most of the meetings that I had meetings all the time, because it was always with parents and the yearly, annual, and I would find out, did they make any progress?
Right.
Are they staying the same? Or if we're losing them, we better know that right away.
Right. And this is like really good training ground for really where we are, honestly, because you really learned a lot about healing. It was the healing mode that we were really in when we were working with children that way.
Yeah. Hers was nurse, mine was teacher.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, I even got out of nursing and actually ended up teaching people in manufacturing how to do their jobs. You know, they're from the quality
she's still
end
teaching.
of it. So
she's still teaching.
I remember one kid that I had that it was only through observation that I ever found it, because it's not something that ear doctors look for. It's not something that is necessarily showing up in education necessarily. But I would watch him as he's doing the testing for me. And, it's one of these kids that passes the hearing tests, But if you're sitting at a table ground full of kids and they're all laughing, this kid will be laughing too. But he doesn't know why, because he didn't understand, because the process of getting those words to make sense to him.
Right.
Sorry, we have a troll out there. I think somebody got him. Somebody got this.
Okay.
Okay, let's go then. Let's get live.
We are live, honey.
Oh,
we've been live guys. The whole time.
Sorry, I didn't know that. Hello, everybody. It's great to be here.
We're Zooming.
You knew we were live.
I didn't know we were live. Sorry, I was hoping I would be here in time. But
no, but it kind of fit in, because I was starting to introduce myself, but then, things were happening. And I started with the fact that I was a teacher. So this was a really good segue into what I wanted to talk about, that this was our perfect training ground, because a lot of times we used our intuitive, at least I did. I'm going to speak for myself. I didn't realize that I was really, in a sense, channeling what each person needed in my classroom.
And I know that happened a lot with me when I was watching a student, and it would all of a sudden occur to me, he's not hearing. Or he's not doing this, or he's not doing this.
Isn't it amazing how we've been channeling all our lives and just totally clueless?
We had one student who referred himself in 10th grade. He was only in my room for 1 year, because I was going, how did they miss this? I would ask him to read for me, and the first thing he did was read continually. He never stopped at the end of the word, never paused at a comma, never stopped at the period. It was just continuous. No wonder he didn't understand it. We got to where I said, okay, there's a comma there. There's a phrase, and that means something. What did you just read? And his comprehension went boom, and he was out the next year.
Oh,
Yeah.
God,
But he
love
never
him.
learned to use punctuation marks, and they never caught it.
I know.
And
How can we not get this person?
Uh-oh.
so I don't know.
I don't think I have any kind of hammer or anything, so.
Okay, I just blocked them.
That's good.
I would have thought they would have been blocked already.
Except the Indigo Jaguar Intuitive Arts was blocked.
No, she was blocked?
I have a note on the bottom.
No, Tarot Destroyer's blocked. And Eric. Okay.
Yeah,
I know.
and you can just erase everything they said, I think.
Yeah. Okay. I've blocked them now, so I don't think there's any. How did she get blocked?
You sure you don't? Because I actually see Indigo was blocked.
Yeah, but where do I go to let her
unblocked?
back? I don't want her blocked.
Yeah.
Where'd it go?
You would have to go into YouTube on like your phone or on another like mode to get into the studio.
I've got my phone, so excuse me for 1 minute while I take care of that.
You know when you go into the studio, and then I'm pretty sure.
Okay. You guys carry on without me for a minute, please.
So what got you into tarot?
Well, it's interesting because it was right around that time of being a teacher. And let's see, I started teaching. I was teaching late because, to kind of give you some backstory, when I graduated from college here in Massachusetts, there was something in our state called Proposition 2.5. And that basically it was a tax, like you can't go over certain things. You can't override, keeping the taxes low. And a bunch of people got fired. And my whole generation, because
I'm sorry, I need to ask you a question. How do I do this? Is terrible. How do I do subscriber only? Where do I go?
Oh, I know that too. And now where did I
somebody in the chat room tell me.
Is that under settings in your StreamYard?
Let me see.
What's that? Oh, I was trying to figure out what that was saying.
Let me just see here.
I'm looking and I don't see it. Somebody tell me.
Is it under general?
I don't remember. Let me see if I can see something here. Just bear with me here.
Indigo Jaguar is back. So
is she back? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's
ban guess. How do I ban a guess? It should be on there. Play
backgrounds.
I don't see anything there.
Well, who wrote Tarot Destroyer? You got him.
They're back though. They keep coming back. Okay. Remove him from your screen. I don't know how to remove him. I've got it. So block user. Did that do it? No.
No, I can't remember what I used to do.
No, don't do that.
Do you know, like, have you gone into like your live into like that studio in YouTube?
Let me go in this. Let me go in it right now.
Because
this is a first for us.
Yeah. I can't it's like through you. So like, I think if you can go into the studio, like go into it live into that studio, there's a way to do that.
Hang on, I'm going into this YouTube studio.
Interesting. Yeah, she got me one of those screens for Christmas. They're neat.
I know, she told me. Aren't they the best?
I can't find it.
This.
I can't find it.
Can one of our people take care of it?
They're trying. They just keep coming back. This is ridiculous.
Do I have a what do you call it?
Hang on, let me get you one.
Yeah.
Oh no, I have to go out to come back in for that.
I think you have to open. Are you on a desktop?
Yeah.
And you opened up another window into YouTube?
On my phone.
Oh, on your phone. Because you can, I've done it on my desktop as well. You usually
we were trying to let you in.
Okay, go ahead. Tell me again. What were you going to say?
You know how you have windows and you can open multiple windows? Yeah. You can open another window, and because your camera's on, everyone should still be able to see you. Okay. Like, for example, right now, can you still see me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm opening up YouTube, for example, right now. And if I go into the live, I should be able to go in.
So actually, I'm actually on a TV, but I can open another window.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
And if you go into that studio.
Okay. I'm in studio.
You are in. Now, in the studio, you can go to the side and delete her? Her, Tarot Destroyer? Like, can't you see the chat in the YouTube studio?
No.
Just a minute.
Because it's in the actual, if you go, there's like a little icon, and oh my goodness, I don't know what it looks like now off the cuff, because I will say it's saying Tarot Destroyer was blocked again. Does she keep coming back, or he keep coming back?
Okay, I'm there with all these comments. I just don't know how to do it, you guys.
I just know that I can usually go into that. Let me see if I can see what that looks like.
Yeah.
I'm trying to describe something, but I know you can only see it on yours, I'm pretty sure.
Everybody in the chat is destroyed.
So we have no chat.
We have no chat. Do you want to go out and come back in for everybody?
Can I just say, this is pretty funny, but chaos.
Chaos.
But Heather, long story, we'll talk. Chaos.
I don't know how to get rid of it.
So let's just go to a different. We'll go out and come back in.
Okay, everybody that's watching, we're going to go out and come back in. You did go out and come back in, but I don't know. They're all here. They're gone. Okay, I see it's gone. Okay. Whew. Okay.
So we're getting people back?
Yeah, we're getting, yeah. Somehow it's gone.
Thank you guys for whoever was able to take care of that. We really, really appreciate it.
Is it really taken care of?
I don't see any more.
Okay.
I think they're all good. Oh, thank you guys. Thanks for sticking with us.
Yes.
That's something I need to learn how to do, apparently. Yay. Okay, you guys.
We can see you. Yes.
Yeah, we can see all your names now, so that's lovely.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, what a nightmare. Chaos. Wow. Would you
not
pull that card again? Thank you very much.
You know what? It's just so weird, because I'm like, oh, it's probably nothing, but I'm doing a little.
Well, it evidently was.
Evidently.
But we're okay. I had pulled 3 cards this morning, and they said, we know how to take care of everything, but we need to be careful about what we think about, because it could come true if we're not careful. No more chaos thinking.
Well, no, that was actually what happened. Was I was saying that I always pull a card before, a meeting or an interview, just to see what the energy is going to be like that I'm going into. And it's usually very positive, or we'll have a particular message. But this time I pulled the card Chaos. Well,
we had it. Now it's time to let it go.
And now it's over. I just saged. It's all good.
We're good.
I'm just thanking everybody in the chat.
And Indigo,
thank you.
I'm glad you're back. Oh my goodness. I didn't even think about it after it was over. It was like, oh my God, the card. Oh my.
Yeah, no kidding. That was crazy.
That was crazy.
And everybody was working for it. So thank you all for helping.
Thank you all out there. Whoever got rid of it, I don't think it was me.
Whoever succeeded. Yes.
But I will find out how to
I don't have a little hammer wrench thing. So I was like, I can't do anything.
Oh, well, I could have given you one.
Yeah. Well, it's one of those things. We're too busy like doing the thing. But in the future, we'll
If you'll type in your name, I can give you a wrench right now.
Do I just
something in the chat?
Oh, how come it's not showing a thing to type? Oh, wait a minute. Can I do it in? Oh, here it is.
That's where we have our phone.
Can you see that?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Oh, I think it went in the private chat because I don't have any space in the regular comments to look in your private chat.
Okay.
Do you see it?
Yeah, I do. Okay. Okay. I don't have a private chat there. So how
come I can't? Oh, wait a minute. Are they back again?
Oh my God, it's back.
He's back.
I'll get your wrench back. I didn't mean to take your wrench. Add moderator. Sorry, I didn't mean to take your wrench. White Dragon, do you need a wrench? Do you know how to take care of this person? I didn't mean to take away your wrench. Anybody else that knows how to do it? This is crazy. Okay, White Dragon's a moderator too. That's just, I just gave you a moderator. Wrench. Let's go on with the show and forget it.
We'll do what we can. At least you guys can see it.
I just blocked the last. Anyway, let's go. You guys turn off your comments.
Yeah, we can do that. We can just turn it off and not even see it.
The only problem is we don't know who all was here, so we won't do too much.
Yeah.
It says Tarot Destroyer is blocked.
Yay!
Yeah, but obviously they're coming resurrecting. So, yeah.
Just let's continue our chat, and I will block as I see them come through.
And let you guys help. We appreciate it all.
Yeah.
Okay. He says, continue, please. He's got a wrench.
All right.
Oh, chaos reigns supreme.
Okay. So where were you before I got here?
You all have already talked about that part.
Okay.
Your
so
background
where do we go from here?
in training. So how did you get involved in the soul writing part? The tarot soul writing.
How is that different?
It's different, but it's not different. Like if I start back with the teaching and kind of developing my intuitive situations, I have to say that one of my big talents was writing circles. And through writing circles, I was a creative writing teacher for years, and working with young people and helping them to develop their own voice. What I realized was, again, I was tapping in, but didn't realize because I was 35 years old and not really aware consciously of what I was doing. And that kind of transferred into when I was ready to leave teaching. I just felt very limited by the profession. And I just,
it's understandable.
Really?
I know. Let's just be frank. I couldn't take it anymore. If one administrator who didn't know anything told me what to do one more time, you get to a certain point where you've grown and you just know things. And then when you have a kid who literally says, well, I'm principal now, and I'm going to tell you how to teach after 20 years, you know what?
Right. And the thing, like when I first started special ed, and I did K through 12, when you were a special ed teacher, you did, at least in Kansas, you did the academic testing. The psychologist came in and did the rest of it. But you would look where you needed to work. And I actually designed the program. I ordered the books for them that I wanted to have so that, I could address their particular thing. If I had 5 kids in the room, they were all doing something different and in different books because they didn't need the same stuff. But the longer I stayed in it, the more it became, we're using these books and you have to teach everybody the same thing.
Right. And here
What's
in
the
Massachusetts,
difference? That's not
it's the same thing.
special.
Yeah.
That's
and it
not
was
special.
It's the cookie cutter, no child left behind, all of that politics that got in. And I know the teachers now are dealing with even at another 10th degree. I got out a little earlier.
I wouldn't go back for anything.
Yeah. It was
ridiculous.
2015. Yeah. 2015, I made the break. Now, I had already been doing tarot reading on the side as sort of a side gig. And it was just my talent and something I did part-time. And I was really developing my spiritual self sort of on the side. And then slowly I started to work with a form of spiritual writing. Now, my inspiration was the book Julia Cameron's The Artist's Way. I don't know if you remember that. It was really big in the 90s. And she was a person who would help people connect to their creative self, AKA your higher self, in order to channel and to create, whether you paint or you write. And she had a system called morning pages. Morning pages is every morning.
Morning pages.
Yeah, we've done that.
Yep.
Yeah.
3 pages you have to fill out. And it doesn't matter what it's like, but it's part of your routine.
You just keep writing.
And you just keep writing. And what I found is that's when a lot of my channeling / psychic abilities really started to click on even more. And that some of the things I was writing were not my voice. They were my voice, but not my voice. Yeah. And this has been part of my practice. And then I started to integrate tarot cards into that as a tool to also, like when I pulled chaos, hello, it kind of like a little bit of warning, but it was a way for me to tap into what was going to happen. And then fast forward again to where I am now.
I still can't believe you pulled that chaos card today.
That now I'm like ready to be able to teach it to other people as a tool for them, not just to learn tarot cards intuitively, but also to tap into that higher self. And I like to say that people will say it's automatic writing. And I've had to do a lot of research on this. I've decided it is a form of automatic writing, but I'm calling it soul writing. And that was coined by a woman named Joanne, I think it's DiMaggio. And she wrote a book called Soul Writing. And she says pure automatic writing is like when you're pure channeling. Is that called trance channeling? When you're like, it's not you, you let another spirit go in your body.
That's what I do.
And she thought of automatic writing as like, okay, I'm not here and I don't realize what I wrote until I come out of it. All right. And she found that a little dangerous because you need a lot of protection and so forth. She was able to maintain control to be able to channel that higher voice of her guides and angels without giving out complete control.
What was her name again?
Her name is Joanne DiMaggio. I think it's DIMA.
Yeah.
GG, but she wrote a book called Soul Writing. Like you can actually Google it.
Actually, I think I have this book.
You
I don't
might
think I've read it, but I think I have it.
Past life regression, and that was another one of her books that she would talk about past life regression. And I actually think that she's right. It is I think, how do I want to say it? I think all of these types of writing, even the morning pages where I'm just getting stuff out of my head, are a form of automatic writing. And maybe that sort of.
They are a form of channeling too. You don't have
to form of channeling.
It doesn't have to be a trance to channel because most of the information that we get, we're channeling from our higher self. So It's channeling.
Exactly.
It's just not trance channeling.
And yeah, and what these people are talking about are the extremes. Like this is the mind dump, and this is okay, I'm giving up my body. But what we want is to try to get people in that middle space where you're sort of in the zone, as I like to call it. You're receiving the downloads. You're, differentiating between your ego voice and the voice of your higher self, your spirits, your angels. So that's what I'm going to help people to do in this class. So that's kind of where I am. And I know there's like a lot of in-betweens that got me to that spot, but that's just a little bit of how I kind of merged both my teacher self and my tarot reading psychic self.
I think that sounds brilliant. I want to take your class.
Yeah.
I mean, I did morning pages for a long time and then just kind of quit,
Right.
I don't feel like it today or whatever, but I still have the books. And in fact, I think, didn't we have a workbook?
I filled that up. I have several books. What I have been doing now, though, is trying, even though I'm fairly technologically challenged, I have a diary on my iPad that I can write on my iPad, and I'm trying to get that going and finding out what the pages I like best to write on and what different things to do with it.
An electronic journal. Cool.
An electronic journal on top of another type of journal. I've got 2 different books on the same program, and I'm just beginning to figure out, okay, I don't like it that thin. No, I don't want it that thick, how to figure out where I want everything. But I am enjoying it, and I started writing today and wrote 2 pages before I even knew what I'd done. So
yay.
Yeah.
It's kicking in.
I think it's going to work.
Yeah, when do these classes start? They're pretty quick, aren't they?
I already have some people signed up. The classes are launching next week, and it's a course that will have 10 classes, and each class has a different topic. The first 3 classes I feel like are really preparation introductory classes that connect you with the tarot cards. So we're going to start with the major arcana. We're going to go on to, court cards and the suits. And then after that, each class is focusing on a different topic. For example, writing to heal, digging into our shadow sides, and so forth. So each class will have a particular manifesting, our goals and dreams and so forth. So we're going to kind of run through a gamut of basically psychologically going through the self. And I feel like I channeled some of the topics. There's a couple topics left that I'm kind of stuck on. And I was told that if I start the classes now, this is what I've sort of channeled, that the time is now. And this first group of people are going to help me work out the bugs, and that the last topics are actually going to come from my students. That's actually what I came up with. So the course is pretty much set up. It's just that the last
Zoom. Is it a Zoom course?
It will be a live Zoom course. We start with instruction, then practice writing, then soul circle, which the soul writing circle is what I'm excited about, because we are together we're going to pick a topic. I call it out of my big giant box of fun. And it will be a big picture topic, and we're all going to channel on it through writing and see what we come up with as a group. And I think it's going to be fabulous. Like, I don't know. I just feel like we're going to get some really good messages. I kind of see down the road, kind of posting them on our website with people's permission, the ones that want to share their messages, the ones that are out there, not personal messages, but for the greater good.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a form of like a psychic circle. Like, that's kind of how I see it. Only we're going to do this through writing and through cards. And you do need a tarot deck to participate. Like, you need your own tarot deck. Doesn't matter which one. Not oracle cards, though. I had
the ones with all the writing on them. It tells you what they are.
If nothing else,
you won't have to worry about knowing the cards or anything, because it will all be intuitive. All the activities are to look at the card as far as what we feel, what we see, what we're getting off of the card, and so forth.
That's how I read them too. That's how I read them. That's
exactly how. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so I can't wait.
Wow.
It's going to be a course.
We haven't had an attack for a few minutes. Thank you guys out there. And let me say hi to Warrior Girl and Viola and Captain Morgan. I know you guys were here earlier, and Indigo. I'm sorry I didn't mean to take away your moderator. For God's sake, I didn't mean to do that. Glad you got it back. And who else? Oh, my God. I'm just glad you guys are all here.
White Dragon. And thank you for your help as well.
Yes, absolutely. I do not channel for anyone, just one of my... Okay, tarot's cool. Okay. Well, I think it sounds pretty darn cool, that class, and I think I'm going to have to take it. Because I want to learn the tarot cards, but I'm intimidated.
No, this would be great for you, because it's not really just about learning the card. It's just about getting into that sense of meditation and spiritual practice through the writing, through the cards, so that you can develop yourself personally.
The card is just a starting point.
Yeah, I understand. I think that's great. That's a great way to do it.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. Yeah. So if you are, well, I'm sorry. I just wanted to say, if anyone out there is interested, they can go to my website, tarotsoulwriter.com. Just press on the classes and you can sign up right from there. And since we're going to get started I have a Tuesday at 1 class, Eastern Standard Time, and a Thursday at 8 p.m. Same class, 2 different times for people.
Eastern Time? What's
will all be Eastern Standard Time. Or, Eastern Standard.
Yeah, because you're East Coast.
Yeah, I'm East Coast. Yeah.
Definitely.
So there's an early class.
They're not putting each other's channels in because of the troll. They don't want them to get guided to other channels. Yeah. So just, be careful, guys. You don't need to post your channels. We love to share them, but let's don't do that today. I think that was a smart idea. So you actually, you can see into the future. So you're a medium and a psychic as well, aren't you?
Well, I will say I feel I'm definitely a psychic.
Medium is the one that talks to people.
Claircognizant.
But not necessarily mediumship. That's me too.
I'm not necessarily mediumship, but I hesitate. I don't bill myself as a medium, but I've had medium experiences. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Because that's not my thing.
You just haven't developed that skill.
It does happen on occasion.
There, I've taken some classes. I've had some real experiences where I felt really positive about my abilities, but not to the point where I could go out there and just bill myself as a medium and do mediumship type readings. I don't think I'm there yet.
No, I can't do it on command.
Yeah, on demand.
Yeah.
There's a difference, and it takes a while to develop.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm getting to where I can do some.
More and more all the time.
Yeah.
Like I can ask her to remote view on demand. And she'll just go, okay. Boom. And
where do you want to go?
On that this summer, remote viewing, because I'm just so interested with Denise Siegel. I took her remote viewing class. I couldn't go to the last 2 classes in her course because some things were happening at home, but I learned so much from that class.
You ought to look at that.
Maybe because I could never teach anybody, because if I decide I want to be somewhere, I'm there. It's not how I get there. I'm just already there.
You're already there.
Yeah, I'm just already there. So I can't teach anybody. I just know, okay, I'm there and I see everything. What do you want to know? You know?
Yeah, she taught it from that gentleman. Yeah, there was a book that was written about it that we followed. He worked for the government. He was one of those early remote viewers that used to remote view for the government. And they had a protocol to get them.
You're talking about Robert Monroe.
Is it Monroe? I can't remember off my top
Monroe
of my
Institute is where they all learned how to do it.
And he claims that through this process, anyone can learn how to do it because that's how they did it in the military. Although they did choose people they felt had intuitive gifts. They had like a survey, I guess.
Easier for them.
Yeah.
Did you use binaural beats?
Yes.
I can't use those. It gives me restless leg. I actually tried probably 20 years ago now. I wanted to go to the Monroe Institute, and they had a CD package that you could get. And my sister and I both bought it. And we started listening to it. And I called her and said, how are you doing with this? Like 3 days later. And she goes, I can't do it. I get restless leg. It's the binaural beats that gives it to me.
I actually use that to get into the writing process in the morning.
Now I can listen to the megahertz, the different megahertz. That doesn't affect me, but binaural beats, I'll have what I call the heebie-jeebies. It's restless leg. I'll have it within 5 minutes.
Interesting.
And I don't.
And it doesn't go
with my
away.
Brain that it does that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
And I don't think it leaves you when you turn off the beats either.
Oh, it doesn't. It doesn't.
It's not something that she should be using.
Yeah,
and there are certain things that I won't use either. But I do know I was thinking about it, when we would there would be people tell us, can you work on our niece? They didn't know where they were. They just said, our niece needs this. And I know that's what we were doing. You
were going there, right?
I was going right there. I didn't
remote healing is what she's talking about.
Yeah, I would remote view and find out what we needed to do. I could even see what happened to get her there.
Right.
And I would tell them, and then 2 days later, they called and told me what happened. You were exactly right. So it must be able to be confirmed. But I never thought about it. I just thought, okay, I'm just doing what I need to do to help.
Not only that, when she heals, she goes into the organ. She can go into your liver and see what's in the liver. She can pull the liver out, slice it up, and go, oh, there's the bad part. Boom. And close it back up and put it back in.
That's amazing.
It's all energetic.
All energetically.
Now, what are your, I'm assuming this is all natural. I mean, are you a Reiki master? Have you had other modalities that you've used, or?
We developed our own.
Our energy together. It's kind of like chemistry where you have an element and an element. Mm-hmm. If you put them together, you get a compound.
Right.
In our case, it's element. Put them together, you get another element.
That's what we were told. We were told we were two of several couple partnerships, healing partnerships that came to the planet to do this certain work. We don't know who any of the others, whoever else, but they're all around the planet. And what we started together, which we didn't even want to work together. We didn't know each other. It was like, no, I work alone. I don't want to work with somebody else. But my husband, who was a medium, said, you two are supposed to be working together. And so we tried it. And the first time we did it, we worked on all the yoginis, all the yoga girls at the wellness center that I had. Wow. They all came in one day, and we worked one Saturday on all of them. And they were laid out and on the couches. They were eating, sleeping, whatever.
They either had so much energy they didn't know what to do, or they just went lay down and went sleep.
It was crazy. And by the end of the day, we were like, yeah, I guess we're supposed to be working together. Yeah. So we called it evolution therapy because it kind of evolved as we started working together, and it changed. I actually took a healing course. I did reconnective healing with Eric Pearl. I did his methodology before I met Heather. And that's how I got into having a wellness center. I took my husband's helicopter building, and that he was doing helicopter parts, and changed it over to a wellness center, which I thought I much preferred.
and I've always done it all my life.
All her life, she's been a healer. So that's
without the training, I just automatically did it. I would say now we work enough. They told us that we have worked together enough that if either one of us works, the other one's automatically working with them. So we have the energy that we're supposed to have.
That's fascinating. I love like physical healers. Just amaze me. It's definitely something that I don't have as a gift, but someone said I'm more of an intuitive healer in an emotional sense. I feel like that makes sense. Like my job is to identify an emotional issue and to kind of kick them into play, move them into a new path. That's been, I think, my role in people's lives, whether it's friendships or readings. It's kind of like find what the emotional thing is and then kick them back into play, get them over the hump.
That's interesting because
what she just said, I think, was channeled. You will continue to do this.
It was channeled.
Yeah.
That was channeled. I worked on their heads. We started out every healing, I always started on their heads. That's what I was supposed to do, was work on their brains, to rewire their brains.
Rewire their brains.
Rewire their brains. Yeah. And then I would just my hands across down the body, and I would feel the hot spots, what I call it. They weren't necessarily hot, but I would feel the different change in the energy, and I'd say, you need to go here. So I would find the spots, and she'd go down and find out exactly what was going on, and then we could.
I thought it was so funny because I'd had all these psychology classes that we had to have for education, and she's a nurse. But I'm doing what she would be doing, and she's doing what I would be doing instead. Yeah. It was weird.
I never even thought about that.
Yeah, that's totally opposite of what we knew. Mm-hmm. And I think the reason behind that was because we would have had our analytical brain get in the way if we were doing what we already knew. What we already knew. You know
makes sense.
What I'm saying?
It does make sense.
The monkey mind would have gotten in the way. So they had
flipping.
Do the opposite. Flip. So you're really a nurse.
Funny.
It's
now
so funny.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was so weird.
Bye, Heather. Have a blessed day, and thank you for all your help. Captain Morgan says I need mine rewired. Some days, Captain Morgan, I think I need mine rewired.
I keep telling her she's sane.
Did you ever have those feelings like, what's happening to me? Am I going crazy? I used to have to ask her that a lot.
Well, yeah, but then you had a daughter who kept telling you were crazy. So, I had to counteract that.
You know what? It's funny because I never thought I was crazy. I've always been really comfortable in it until I started teaching. I remember I was about 35 years old and, all these issues are coming at me, all this energy, and I didn't know how to protect myself. I didn't know how to create boundaries. Yeah. And I remember going to my department chair, who we had a really good intuitive relationship. And I said, I feel like I just read everybody's feelings. I just know everyone's thoughts. I just feel so overwhelmed. And she goes, you're an empath. And this is coming from my supervisor. And I was like, whoa, like light bulb moment, and then had to work on boundaries. But I never thought that I was crazy. I never had that feeling like
I did when I started channeling. When I started channeling other entities, trance channeling, it was like, did that really happen? I felt my angel wings. I felt my wings as a dragon. I've been a cat. I felt like a cat, all wanting to lick my hands, lick my paws. I've experienced it, and I loved trance channeling. I loved it. But the way I protected myself was to say nobody could come that wasn't here without unconditional love. Mm-hmm. It was that
we had to add protection. A few more things because that wasn't enough.
Yeah.
So
see,
because we had so many people show up.
Well, yeah, and I was going to say I'm afraid because of control issues. I deal with control issues every day, needing to be in control or feeling like I don't want to not be in control. And
I used to.
She kicked somebody out several times.
I have kicked them out when they don't behave. I think it was Ramses II just plopped down one evening, and
Ramses.
And I was like, I really don't care who you are. You don't come and just plop down without asking. And I blew him out, and he came back very apologetic. I'm a pharaoh. I'm used to getting what I want, doing what I want. I'm like, well, you've been dead a long time. You're no pharaoh. But it was easy to get rid of the ones that you didn't want around, and Ramses actually was just fine. I thought I was fascinated, but when I was a kid, I had such control issues. I wouldn't let anybody hypnotize me. I didn't want any part of any of that. And now it's like past life regression. I'm ready. Hypnotize me. I'm doing a QHHT on the 25th. I'm going for the half-day QHHT with Sarah Brosman. I'm so excited.
That's awesome. Like I was even afraid of like anesthesia, like of being able to go under. I would take pain at the dentist or like stay awake while they drilled things or whatever because I did not want to be put under. That kind of thing. I eventually it had to happen with something else. I think it was my first colonoscopy or something like that, where there's no choice. Right. You just had to do it. So I had to like deal with it. I had to suck it up and just deal with like, this is part of life. It's no big deal. But like that, it's like that idea of like relinquishing control. I don't know what it is. With you.
I totally get that. When I was a little girl, probably 5 or 6 years old, I had a procedure done in the children's hospital and they put laughing gas on me. We're going to put you to sleep now and you can laugh. Well, if you suck in laughing gas and you start laughing, it's uncontrollable and it hurts. Not only that, you put animals to sleep and they don't come home. Mm-hmm. I was terrified, absolutely terrified after that. Put me to sleep? What? In that poor little child's brain, who knew?
Right.
Yeah. But yes, that from then on, it was a matter of control. No, nothing like that. So I totally understand that.
But also it's a lesson for me to trust, and to
have to
surrender and to know that you're going to be okay. Or if you're not, you're going to be fine anyway, because you're just going to go to the other side.
They're working for you.
But then I didn't know there was another side. I just thought you put me to sleep and I didn't come home.
Right.
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 So I can't even imagine how scary that must have been as a little kid. I mean, I don't remember the fear now, but I remember certain things about it.
Right.
Enough that you still resonate with it now.
Absolutely. Yeah. No fun.
And that connection with trans-channeling, I think, is my block, but something I'll work on, but who knows? Like, I'm trying to stay present and just like, I like to learn lots of things. Like I said, I dipped my toe with remote learning. I want to took mediumship classes, but I'm just trying to like go with the flow and say, all right, just take me where I'm supposed to be.
Until I joined this the YouTube family, I didn't even know about all these classes. I just did what I did without any.
You were never trained. You just trained yourself.
I just trained myself, and I just
the
do.
Nice thing about classes though is it helps you tweak.
Yeah,
I've learned from other people how to
and
tweak.
There's practice, and that helps.
The practice times are wonderful.
And how you meet other people who are like you. That is what I've gotten out of classes more than anything. Like expanding my group of peers that do what I do, or at least get me. I think being able to go to classes and
I kind of feel like that about this community, the YouTube community. I feel like, holy hell, I finally found my tribe. Yay. I think they feel that way too about each other and different channels. It's really lovely.
I mean, I knew that I was reading Captain Morgan's. He was saying he likes remote viewing, and I think I do too. I remember when I was in second grade, actually, when my dog was hit, and my dad came home after going to the animal hospital, and he had said he would be there. The vet would be with her all night to make sure she made it through. If she made it through the night, she'd make it. And so he was there, and that was the first time I remember, once I started thinking about it, that I had remote viewed, because I went to the animal hospital. I don't know where it was, but I was there, and I saw him, and I saw her kennel, and I saw the room it was in. And when I went to go work for him later on, it was exactly like I remember seeing it.
Wow.
It was so weird.
Isn't that crazy?
But it wasn't cool. Not until I started thinking about it did I realize. I said, boy, do I have a good imagination. That's what I saw in my imagination. No, I was remote viewing. I just didn't know it.
Yeah.
Right. It's just a natural thing for you, which is cool.
Evidently. Yeah.
Pretty cool. Some of us have to work at these things. But she had to work at believing in herself.
That's true. I never thought it was anything more than imagination or anything like that. And still I am surprised at what I see when I'm like, go to this mountain. What's under there? I was there. I didn't know.
Mount Shasta.
I wanted to know what was under Mount Shasta. Paw of the Sphinx. There's more there than they know. I've been in different sections of it. There's so much more than they're letting anybody know.
I think there's more than what they know.
I think, well, this particular thing, yes, I'm sure. They don't know about it. They don't know how to get to it. And they don't know how well it's hidden.
Right.
So,
isn't that cool?
But it's really cool. I love remote viewing in that kind of thing. When I come up with strange and I know that what I'm singing is right. That's what's weird.
I trust you totally. If you tell me it's there, I totally trust it. I'm not seeing it.
I think that being able to do that is such a talent, because I know how hard it was for me to learn it. I had some success. We did the coordinates and the whole thing like the military did, where you follow the coordinates and then kind of tap into the vision or whatever it is. But I sketching and the whole thing, like we did it like the old school military way. Had some good successes.
I just say it out loud and then write it down later.
Yeah.
But for you, it's natural. For us, we're trying to tap it.
Yeah. I never was able to do it. Apparently, I made some kind of soul agreement that I would not
do a lot of things.
Yeah. One of them was astral travel. I can't astral travel. It saved my life. Although, don't we all do that when we're asleep? Anyway?
Yeah.
So I can't quite figure out this soul agreement, but maybe it's just that I never could do it knowingly.
Well, maybe you couldn't do it when you were a kid because you kept running down the same hall instead of going anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I was going to say, I had one astro travel experience that was conscious to me after it happened. And it was right before we were talking about healing, right before I was going to get Reiki 1. Yeah, it's a funny story. I was kind of led to the shop that kind of did all of this stuff. And she's like, oh, you should try Reiki. I had no idea what Reiki was. Like literally, my husband bought me a book called Reiki for Dummies because I had no idea what it was.
I know those books.
Like for real. It was a real book, Reiki for Dummies. And so I'm like reading, I'm like, what's this? And I went to bed that night. And I really feel it was astro travel experience. I was in a place that was as real as right now. Like I could physically touch myself. Everything seemed 3-dimensional. It was in color. And I was on one side of a river. And then I crossed the river into a place that was a little bit more green. And I met a man with a beard. And all I can think of is, like on the hermit card, the traditional Rider-Waite deck, and you see the man he kind of looks similar to that with a hat and a really long beard. And he stuffed an infinity sign through my crown chakra. And it was an infinity sign right through. And then I was like back in my bedroom. And it was so real. Like there are dreams, and you know how you have those experiences, and I still don't even know what it meant. Why the infinity symbol? Who was he? Was he a guy? I have no idea. Why was the river so symbolic? It was like crossing a river. And then, that Saturday I was attuned to Reiki 1, which I thought was really interesting, which was one of the beginning of connecting to a spiritual community. So
they've done some kind of energetic work on you because you were going to get involved in the energetics. What happened to me was kind of similar. I don't remember it. It wasn't a dream. My husband was a psychic medium. And when I signed up for the course, the healing course with Eric Pearl, he said, I'm going to have to touch you at night for like 5 minutes or something. And he goes, I have no idea why. And I'm like, okay, honey, whatever you think, whatever you say. I just kind of go with the flow because he's a psychic and he doesn't know what's going on. So he would touch my shoulder like this. I'd wake up and he'd be holding my arm like this. And I was like, okay, whatever. And about the third time it happened, I felt it to the bottom of my toes. It scared me to death. And it was Red Eagle. What is he? What's he called?
Sentinel.
And the way David explained it was they had to upgrade, do some downloads for me to be able to handle the energetic work, and so that it wouldn't harm my human body, what I was getting involved with, so that it wouldn't be too great for the human body. So they were doing some kind of energetic work on me. So I think that's what they were doing to you.
It must have been to prepare me for it somehow.
To prepare you for it, because that's what this was. It was all before I started. I had to go through this, and it happened. Well, there was 3 different entities, and it ended up Red Eagle stayed because I had a previous life with him. I already knew him apparently, but his was the only energy I felt. The other one was a Flathead Indian from Montana that lived in the 1800s, and the third one was a Jewish rabbi from like way back in Egypt time, just thousands of years ago. But it ended up
Red Eagle,
and he was from I think the 1500s.
Wow.
And he'd never seen a white person, and he had never been incarnated since he had gone back to the other side. He's never been incarnated since. So
he's my sentinel.
But now when we started working together, he became hers as well. So he kind of watches out for us. And I used to channel quite a bit of information now, but now it just is so integrated. It's just there. I don't know who it's coming from anymore, because I've integrated him and my husband as well. And their energies are just so close that I can't determine who's who. I just kind of go, okay, whatever.
Right. No, I mean, that makes a lot of sense.
It does. They have to do something with this.
And I feel like now, even through writing, which is my form of channeling, it's all one voice now. And I don't know who's coming through. I just consider it the one voice. And really, we're all one anyway. So at the end, it's just channeling that central message.
That's true.
What's White Dragon?
What is White Dragon saying?
Yeah, it's to you.
I was one of the dudes that moved the ark in the desert. By the way, it was not 40 years, more like months. Okay. That's interesting. I want to know more about that, White Dragon.
That is interesting.
Can you elaborate on that a little bit? Maybe we're going to have to invite White Dragon.
Some other people tell their stories.
Yeah.
It kind of sounds like it.
Yeah, that's really interesting. Huh. Linda wants to know what's under Mount Shasta. Can you tell her?
Well, what I saw, I was in a huge building type of thing, and there was a long corridor. They said that the first time I did it, they knew I was there and they didn't know much about me, so they all just kind of disappeared. Because the first time I was there, all I saw was corridors and offices and a big area where they could meet and stuff. And
was it like outside, or
no?
Was it
was
in a
down
building?
Underneath. It was underneath. And the second time, it was more like the big open room. I mean, at the other ones, I could tell there were people in the offices and they were working. But the big open room, the only way I could describe it to her was that, on the Men in Black, and they come down and there's all different kinds. It was, to me, it was like the center where everybody was coming in. And yes, there were more of the
blue ones.
No, the
Lemurians
there, because they were in charge of the whole thing. But there were other aliens there too, and it kind of reminded me of that. That's the only way I knew how to describe it to her. Is when you came down the elevator and there's this great big room with all these different lines and people in line for different things, that they were all like the area where everybody was getting to where they wanted to be, which line, I want to go here and I want to go there. So they were all over, and there were all different kinds of aliens there. Mm-hmm. And it was so remarkable to me, but that's what I happened to see.
Can you speak to anybody when you remote view? Does anybody notice you're there?
I had somebody with me when I saw that. There was somebody standing next to me. So I must have been doing something, but I knew there was somebody with me when we went in. It was like, okay, I'm staying with you to make sure everything's right or whatever. But
because one place that you went to, I think there was somebody there and they didn't want you there. Or is that Antarctica?
Oh yeah, they didn't like me down there very well. They didn't really want me to be seeing everything I was saying. They were not cordial.
Yeah,
we got to go back.
We got to go back. But yeah, and that's another big area. But it's different.
Was it a space? Was it where in Antarctica? A space?
Yeah, Antarctica was different. Under the mountain was friendly.
He's asking a question.
Yes, part of it. Where it was so self-contained. I mean, there was an exit up above, but most of the exits were down below.
Now, is this Mount Shasta or
this was in Antarctica? Okay. And I did get the feeling that there were docks below where they could have other ships docking for ports. So,
like in the water or spaceship type docks?
Spaceship type docks under the water.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I believe that.
And they would fly out of the water,
right,
when they're leaving. But when they came in, they would go down underneath, and there was where their docks were.
Okay, he's asking if you saw a spaceport in Mount Shasta. I don't think so. I don't remember you talking about that.
I didn't see it, but I know there's one there.
There has to be.
And I've seen the outer edges of it. in my head. So I know I've been there. I can't really describe it real well. Like I told you, I know it's there, but I haven't really been there.
It would make sense, really, because how are people getting in and out, right? So
there is one there, but it's on a part of the mountain you can't get to. It's on the government side.
Right. Oh, so the government's involved in the spaceport at Mount Shasta?
Well, it's over there. We can't stumble on it.
I feel yes. Like I've always felt that the government is part of this now. Maybe
they
not.
Are aware.
Oh, I think they've been a part of it since the 40s.
They are aware, but it's totally where people can't get.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It's on the other side of the mountain and it's towards the top.
Mm-hmm.
And there are sometimes you can see them.
Right.
Because they're huge ships.
Yeah, we've seen them on top of Mount Shasta, but
yeah,
I've never been inside Mount Shasta, so I don't know about inside.
But I haven't been to that. I was in kind of like a receiving center.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting.
With hallways going off to different offices.
It's interesting.
I know, right?
You know, and like just the hot spots too, energetic hot spots. I know I've been like led to them. One in Ireland, had to go to Ireland.
Where in Ireland?
Aran Islands. I went to Galway, but I felt like I had some sort of an attunement on the Aran Islands, off of Galway, Southern Ireland. By chance, my brother was getting married there.
Down there.
Is it what?
Did you see the circle?
That wasn't in Galway. That was way past Galway. We were down at the very bottom.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. I was like literally
we were very
islands that I felt like there was something energetic that was being attuned. I had been really focused on Ireland before this happened. And the other place that I had to go to, I was obsessed maybe 10 years later, was I had to go to the Grand Canyon. Canyon. And
I think there's a lot going on there too.
It was like the universe opened up. I was poor. I had a 5-year-old who's going to babysit them. And the whole universe opened up so that the funds and the opportunity was there for me to go. That's why I know it was important for me to be there. And I felt something energetic happen then as well. And I think I told you a while back, now I seem to be drawn more to the mountains on the East Coast, particularly Mount Katahdin in Maine. And I don't know why, but I feel like there might be.
You said you were going to go there.
Yeah. And I want to climb it. Yeah. And I'm not sure what, but I kind of see it as there's some kind of energy attunement that has something to do with this.
That's what happened to us in Mount Shasta, was some kind of energy attunement, because I was in the swimming pool one day. We were just paddling around the pool, and all of a sudden it was like, you need to go to Mount Shasta and we'll see you there. And I'm like, what? Okay. And we were gone in about 6 weeks.
It's like when we went to Europe, we were going to
spiritual sites.
Right. And we were getting different energies. And there was one church that we went into in Ireland, and it was just, we need to hit there. You know, we just went there. And
truthfully, we got a map of Ireland, and we had to go to the Devil's.
We had to go to
Causeway,
the
Giants
Causeway.
We had to go there, and then there was a place at the bottom we had to go. So I handed her the map, and I said, "You're so intuitive. Look at all the places we need to go between A and B, because we're literally up the Giants Causeway and then down to, I can't remember this circle."
But
that's what she did. She just picked things through the map, and
we have to be here. I don't know where else, but this one here we have to go. And it was a little church, kind of a ruins, and we both touched the baptismal thing. Mm-hmm. That's the first time we were actually touching so she felt the jerk, because I used to jerk from all the energy that would come through, and she actually felt it. So you got it too.
I got it too. Yeah. Just weird little places that we would find.
Yeah.
And what was the name?
You're right. Drum something circle.
We got lost. We couldn't get there. The GPS was sending us in circles
all over the place.
I'm ready to scream.
I think they wanted us there at a specific time.
They absolutely did.
And that's why we couldn't get there.
Dusk. There was nobody there around. But us. It was down this long kind of winding path into a cow field. And there was a circle.
And it was like a miniature Stonehenge. With the stones and ones over across. All I knew, I got this message. We had to come from here and walk in and be together.
You had to stand on a stone together.
Yeah.
Thank God there wasn't anybody there because
they would have thought we were nuts, but we both felt the energy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
we did. It was amazing.
It was.
Yeah.
And if you walked off from that area, there were 2 other areas that had been used for like getting animals ready for sacrifice or whatever. Anyway, there were 2 other areas that you could visit. We looked at, when we first got there, I got, no, we need to look at the other places first because we won't be able to see them after we get done here.
Right.
I didn't know why.
Yeah.
And when we got done, we didn't want to see anything else. We just left.
Well, it was pretty much dark.
Yeah.
The sun goes fast in England once it's hit.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Ireland and England, but it was amazing. So I highly recommend following your heart to any place that you get called to, because
definitely follow it for sure, because I do feel like it's part of your spiritual development. For if you're doing this work, I think it's energy attunements in some way. I don't understand it.
Too.
Try to,
you need those.
But you can feel it when you're there.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God. If you haven't been to Mount Shasta, you won't believe the energy on that place.
You go up, you think you're done, you leave, and you're ready to be right back.
As soon as we would leave, I was like, I'm going to go back.
I said, we'll go back.
I have not had a pull there yet, Shasta, but I do feel like I need to go to
maybe it's not time yet.
So, yeah. So
well, maybe you do need to go to Sedona first.
Sedona first.
Because we went to Sedona first.
Yep. That's kind of the feeling I have.
That's okay. And do it.
Yeah.
And definitely do the alien tour at night. They'll take you up on a mountain and give you military infrared scopes, and you can see spaceships everywhere.
All over. You can see them parked on a mountain out there. It's like that's their parking lot.
This is a mountain you can't get to by road. There's no road or anything, this mountain. And you see like rows of lights on top of it. And you're like, wait a minute, how are they getting lights up there? Can't see them.
And the people were knowledge enough to know, okay, no, that's not a ship. That's an asteroid or that's something.
Yeah, they knew exactly where the planes were, where the satellites were, all of that kind of, they're very well versed in what they're doing, and it was absolutely fascinating. If the rain hadn't come, we would have been up there a lot longer, but a storm was moving in. They made us get off the mountain. I was like, I want to go back.
Oh, I definitely want to do that. That sounds awesome.
So I highly recommend Sedona too. We went there to do some shadow work. There was Sedona Soul Adventures.
They have a really good pizza place too.
Yes.
Then I'm there.
It was the best pizza. It was. It really was. You got to have good food when you travel.
Absolutely.
We're foodies. There is no doubt about it.
Exactly.
Oh gosh. Hey man, it's after 4:00. I think you've even been sitting there for an hour. We made it. So that's good. Do you want to do any cards, ladies? Do you want to read at least a card for the collective?
You want to do like a closing card?
Collective? Okay.
Yeah, like maybe a closing card or something.
Yeah.
I think that would be cool.
I will use.
Let me see if I have anything.
This one.
All right, let's take
Oh, wow. Viola says, my master's was 2 years studying Sedona. I'm jelly.
Yeah.
She did a 3-week vision quest in the mountains. How cool is that?
Nice. Very cool.
Heather and Priscilla, how do we contact you? Email, please. It's Twistedsisterskw for TW, Key West. Twistedsisterskw@gmail. And it's also in the description on the video if you need to get hold of us that way. Road trip, yeah. Let's do a road trip.
I love traveling.
I do too. You're right, Jules. Drombeg Circle.
Yeah. That's why I said
Hi,
I knew it was
Jules. I
due
didn't know
something.
you were here. Welcome. All these people I didn't know were here. Hi,
Yeah.
everybody. Thanks for joining
It
us.
was an amazing, actually an unforgettable experience. I will always remember exactly what it looked like. And I can't remember exactly what it felt like, but I know what it looked like. And I know I could draw it on a map and I could show you the whole area. Still.
That's amazing.
That's so cool.
I could go back.
Because you can remote view. I
have been back several times.
And another place I highly recommend that just makes me insanely happy is Stonehenge. Yeah. I have no idea why, but every time now I lived in England for almost 10 years. My husband was British. And so I would always take anybody that came to visit. We always had to go to Stonehenge.
It's definitely on my bucket list for sure.
Definitely
always
yes,
I feel
definitely
like
go.
I float around it. And you can't get close to anything anymore,
because they block it off.
All roped off. You can't actually touch the stones unless you're there at the solstice.
Yeah.
And but it's still, the energy is just incredible. And it
emanates.
Makes me goofy. And I feel like I'm just floating around. It's just crazy. I love it. I want to go back. I want to go back many times. It's so crazy.
This one fell out when I was shuffling, so we'll keep it.
Okay.
All right. I'm ready.
What have you got?
All right.
Yeah,
so I have the spark of the divine.
Oh.
Whoops.
Wait a minute. I'm trying to get you there, not us.
There we go. The spark of the divine. And I'm just going to read it since it's hard to read. I recognize the divine spark within me and recognize I am part of all creation.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. That's for all of us, you guys.
And of course, this is my fairy deck. That's a tarot deck. And what it is the Three of Springs. What it says is to plan your next steps carefully with an eye for the long term. You want to change that?
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
I can't hear.
I'm so busy.
Have patience because there are a lot more good things coming for you.
Nice.
Okay. And it's you're going to be very satisfied with her from a job well done. And she's a purple fairy. She's really gorgeous. You can almost see her.
That's beautiful. And I've got, with focus and intention, I can shape energy in any direction.
Yes, you can
manifest what we want.
Exactly.
That's cool.
Right. So spark of the divine, manifesting, like all of this, work well done. I think this is definitely all pointing to doing our spiritual work and just keep
continue. And do
absolutely.
think in terms of long term. This is not a short term thing, guys. This is
long term. We're in just it for the long haul.
Just like when every week we say, spread all your unconditional love because everybody needs it. That's long term. You need to do it every day, every minute that you can, because everybody needs it.
And shine your light.
Yeah.
Everybody needs to shine their light. You guys are all full of love and light, and you need to go out there and be yourselves.
Because there's so many that don't have it, that need it just to get started.
That's why we're here. We are here for that moment. This is it. This is the time.
This is it. Right.
All of our training has led to this moment.
Yeah. It's so true. This is a do moment, not a training.
It is a do moment. It's like, let's do this. Like, that's kind of how I felt for the last 5 years. It's like, let's do this. Time is now.
Yeah, it is now. Kerri, thank you so much for joining us. What a fun trip.
Thank you.
Chaos and everything.
Still, unusual.
I hope you'll come back. Yes. I hope you'll come back and see us.
I've never quite had an interview like this, so let's put it there. We'll put that one in the books.
We never have either.
No, not quite like this. No, but we do enjoy our interviews.
We do. It's always.
Well, we always said we're going to just allow this to go where it needed to go, and boy, did we have an interesting journey.
It was an interesting journey for sure. You guys, thank you so much for being here. You know how much we love
and
you.
light.
And, I don't even know what I'm doing next. How about you, Kerri? Do you have something this weekend? Any more shows?
Actually, it's just my Sisters of the Mystical Tarot. We have a regular show with Sheila and Val, and we meet on Wednesdays at 4. So we will have that show. That's a regular occurrence. Please join us. We do political readings on that show and world events.
That's
but other than
fun.
that,
is
just my classes.
Great.
Don't forget to sign
Well,
up.
Absolutely. Please sign up for a class. It sounds amazing. And we're going to do self-sabotage tomorrow. Tomorrow's Saturday, right?
Right.
And then Juno's going to be with us on Sunday, Junosphere. So that'll be fun too.
Yes.
Another interview. God knows what can happen.
That's right. But we have great times.
We always have so much fun.
And she's a wonderful guest. She is so knowledgeable.
She is. And
a wonderful soul. Beautiful.
She is.
Yes.
All right, you guys. Goodbye, everybody. Have a great weekend.
And
we
thank
love
you for hanging with us.
Bye-bye.